Hi guys, I know a lot of you follow my channel because of the game Marvel Heroes, but I do play other games as well, and thanks to my friend Tranz Anatomie, he got me this game and got me into playing this game. It's called the Skies Skylines. So for those of you who has played SimCity in the old days, this is very true to what the spirit of like a city building is, and I really enjoy this game. Now this is one of the early part of the game whereby I just load it up, and there's a reason why I want to do that, and later on I'll show you a little bit about after 15 hours into this game on the map, that this particular map, and how I actually built the whole city up. So the reason why I like to show you, oh hang on, let's just slow down this a little bit. So it is very much like the SimCity that you play. Is very much like managing the residential, commercial, and industry. And the for those of you who are following Formula One, you probably could recognize this map here. Now it is actually quite a hard map to do, in this particular way, because it's not the most efficient use of space. But I really enjoy F1, and this is inspired by the circuits of the Americas in Austin. All right, so it is actually, if you really like, okay, I may not have done a really good job in mapping this out, but for those of you who are familiar, this one is very much like grandstand starting line, and you sort of like go up the hill and then turn in and then go wave in here and then go down the road, and then after that you got the all long straight here, another few round, and sort of like then come back to here. So what I really enjoy is that I could actually pick one of these cars here, and I would just like, okay, zoom into them, and just like looking at the circuit, like, wow, this is the circuits of the America kind of thingy. All right, now why do I pick a garbage truck? I don't know, but it just happened to be that way. But yeah, I mean, it's really nice. Imagine this is just a very tiny city. And you are able to do such things, but when you have a really huge city, and it's just a joy just to sit back and enjoy taking a look at what's happening and all these things happening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load one of the game that I'm currently playing. It's about 15 hours down the road, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how I build my city and so on. And by the way, this game is developed by just a few. I don't think it's a lot of developer, not like SimCity that we have today, and it does not require you to be online to play this game, so it's wonderful. So I'm just go ahead and load one of the game. And and I'm going to show you what I've done so far. Is actually one of the later one. All right. So now this part of the game is after 15 hours invested into this map, and it's already going to be nighttime. So you can see sunset over the. Just now you saw a sunrise. This is sunset. So as the sunset over my city called Austin Chowder, and as you can see, things are turning into dark. And now I'd like to show it to you because. That when things become dark, some of the building becomes stands out. I'd like to talk about all this building first, and after that talk about the city in general and what really you are playing for. All right, now playing this game is really fun because just now you saw you can draw the road to be like curve, free form, and so on and so forth. And what you can do is actually you can raise the road and become like a curvy kind of like highway, or you can build a roller coaster like what you have here, and you can actually tunnel underground as well. Now it's complete darkness, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the city that I've built so far. And this is actually the hotel area. You can actually designate the area as like the tourism area, so you can use the district zone and to say that, okay, so this entire district is going to be specialized into, say, hotel, right, tourist specialization. So you can specialize each zone. So like for instance, this zone here, I specialize as the forest industry. So there's no pollution there, and and just like forest industry. And this zone is very much like a tourist industry. So and you can see that all these buildings are beautiful. They are like the very high-rise kind of thingy, and you can click onto them and see like how many people are being employed there, and so on and so forth. So you basically have to have like educate your citizens and get them allocated to all these things that are happening. So you have to build your city with the mind that your citizens are being educated to fill out some of these like jobs and so on. So this part of the city is the tourist city, and after that a little bit further down there's actually a cemetery here, and a little bit further down are the residential area. Now this is a high density residential area, and each of the building has a level up, so you get level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think every time when you hit the next level, and the whole building will get like upgrade, so it get bigger and bigger, it looks better and better. So some of these are just low rise, so I like when I play this game, I like a little bit of landscaping as well. So a little bit of like, the low rise on some area, a little bit high rise behind, so as to like, when you look at a city from afar, you can see the building. You get to step up. Now again, may not be the best optimized way to do certain things, but sometimes you don't really care, right? Because you just want to build a city. The way, it's just it's an art, not a science. So along this side is all the residential area, low-rise one facing the sea, north facing, I think. Well, I don't know which one, either north or south, and it's beautiful. You can see a landscape here from the low to the high. All right. So and you can see that these are all very light up. A lot of light there is the residents that are hitting level 5 soon. For this car building, so these are really huge, big building on that, and and also if I could pick whether I can find it or not, and sometimes I may not be able to find it. So okay, so this is the university also. It's pretty bright at night. So there's one university in my city, and look at that, man. Check this out. Yeah, looks good. Yeah. So so that is a university built around the residential area. Now, if just imagine if you are living in this city called Austin Chowder, you would like to have some entertainment as well. So we do. I'm the mayor. So you got this is a known key, and you got all the entertainment area here, and all this sort of like very much buzzing at night as well. So you can see all the red light district. No, it's not a red light district. It's just the district full of red light here, and yeah, I mean there's another cemetery here. And after that, then on this part of the island, I sort of like want to plan it a little bit more like a high density area here, because why? I have a unique, not Marvel Heroes, unique building here, and the unique building is called the Opera. All right, so the Opera House is beautiful. I planned it. I wanted to build for a very long time but it's really expensive, so I didn't have the money to do it. But I sort of like waited until I've got the money, and I wanted to build it just along, overlooking this. Well, it's a river. I wanted to say the sea, but sort of like, it's a narrow kind of like sea. It's more like a river. So overlooking the river, all right? So, and then after that, I have in mind to build this whole area to be like shopping mall, because like, I would imagine the tourists would like to come to this place to see all the unique building. And there's another unique building, by the way, over here. It's called the Fountain of Life and Death. Also a unique building. And I suppose, the tourists may like to hang around in this kind of like area. And by the way, there's like a Twitter here. It's a bird kind of thing, to keep chirping and sort of like, keeping a pulse of all the what happened to this city that people may want to feedback to the mayor, myself. And I also so I have this opera house, and after that I wanted to build a lot of high density stuff around here, because this is like my high value area. Okay, I don't know whether it worked in this game or not, but I just imagine if I was mayor running a city like Singapore, that I probably would like to do something like that, to have a lot of high density malls here, because if you're a tourist here, you want to spend money, yeah, I mean you can, all the things, superstore and new commercial center and stuff like that. And I also want to have like entertainment as well, because I suppose the tourists come here want to be entertained as well, and this is where all the entertainment area here is. And I deliberately draw it very nicely with all the curves, like again, not the very best way to optimize for building anything here, because the best of course is to do a grid structure that fit the most number of buildings. But I need to play the game to enjoy the game, not just like yeah. So so this is very much like the whole loop there, and all this like the yet another commercial area around this area. And then after that, moving on to this side is more of the residential area along this whole thing. So again, landscaping again. So I have all this high density residential area, or progressing to level 4 and 5, because these are quite new. And now the low rise, low density here. So not just like two kind of like condo face to face with each other. I mean, I imagine if I was to live around here, if I want to face somewhere to the river, so on and so forth, I would like to have some kind of like a view overlooking the kind of like low rise building. So that is the reason why I want to plan it that way. And after that, there are a couple of things here as well. I mean, I then move on to more of the commercial area, and now this is office building. So that is where my citizens will come here to work as an office. So there are like all these office buildings and so on. And I mean, they don't really employ a lot of people right now, but so like so all this like training area. And yeah, I mean, so all this more like the more commercial area here. And so I'm sort of like looping the thing up, like a little bit of commercial, a little bit of residential as well, to see. And this is the residence as well. By the way, sunrise is on the east side, over there, and it's beautiful. beautiful when you look at it this way. Look at that. This is the landscape I talk about. And oh my God, it's like I don't know what happened. It's running out of water. So something is wrong here. And let's see what's wrong. And water availability is getting low. Electricity getting low. So I don't know, man. Maybe I just want to sort of like solve this right now on the spot. I'm not really that great at doing all these things. So let me see. You know what? In the interest of time, to show you how things work, maybe I just add a water pump here. So I can add a water pump here. All right. So I just water pump here, maybe. All right. So and that should temporarily solve my problem. All right. So and sewage, I may as well do it side by side, right? Because I have okay. So I have a sewage here as well. So yeah, I mean that's one aspect of the game that sometimes you just have to solve some problem here that's pop up, and you just have to pay attention to what happened. Is this something you can play with the budget? Is that something you can play with the you know, more of these guys? So now I'm at a surplus here, obviously, and then probably I need to what happened to this one? I need to probably scale down on some of the budget to see whether I you know, because you don't really need to spend that much on water anymore. Yeah, I should have like, you know, moved up the budget anyway. So you know, this is the part whereby I can manage the budget and so on. All right, so yeah, so what I should have done was to just manage the budget, just move it back up a bit rather than panic and just add another one. So you know, you need to move it a little bit towards this side. All right. So anyway, enough of that. I mean, just want to show you a little bit of the grid of the water pipe here. The water pipe run in both the water as well as sewage as well. Don't ask me how, but it sort of covered this entire area. All right. So now moving on to I was just talking about my city. Moving on to the next part. Oops, sorry. Moving on to the next part of it. So let me just you know, look at this part here. So I was talking about the opera house, and after that this part of the thing. Okay, so this is the more ugly side of my my city, because you know, traditionally I had like some like a landfill here to manage the garbage. But I'm sort of like in the midst of I just purchased a piece of land to manage all this garbage, but I think garbage management system here is a little bit challenging sometimes, and I'm actually emptying this one, and you can relocate it as well. So once this one is empty, I can hit this button called relocate the building. So I don't need to destroy it, I just need to relocate it with a cost. So I'm in the middle of moving all this thing out. I'm also in the middle of having all this incineration plant to burn all this garbage. But I'm still experimenting what works, what doesn't. And I mean, you know, I used to have some like coal power kind of like a plant as well, but I start to turn them off one by one, because now I'm gaining more electricity from the incineration plant that help me to burn some garbage as well. So I mean, yeah, I mean, so that this part of my my map is not that pretty. You can see a lot of like dust everywhere because of all the like, you know, pollution and so on. I mean, pollution is very real. So I'm in the middle of like moving all this thing out and sort of like clean this place up and have some kind of like a better area for residential as well. So this is also my residential area. All right, another cemetery. And I mean, you know, you have all the fire. Let me see if I can find something. A firehouse. I can't hit it. So you know, you need to make sure that whenever there's a fire happening, your fire engine will go and, you know, get all the, you know, help with putting off the fire. A police station as well, very much like SimCity. And and after that you have the high school here. So you have the you know, you have to look at the education itself. You know, elementary school availability and so on, high school, university and stuff like that. So I can sort of like scale back my budget as well, because everything should just be there. So yeah, I mean, so that is really cool. Look at all these things, and just want to introduce the kind of thing. And this is very, very special, this part of it. I've got this like you know, Fountain of Life in Depth unique item here, and I just want to just build a little loop here with high density residential area. I mean, that's all. I mean, again, it's just for landscaping. You know, I like things that are curved and beautiful of it. All right. So and of course, you know, when it comes to traffic, it's always a huge issue. So how I get by solving all my traffic issue, it's not easy. So in it, oh, by the way, there's a prison here, and oh yeah, the light is up. So I want to show you my roller coaster. I'm very, very proud of this part of the circuit. It's like a roller coaster. I do not need to elevate any of these things, to be honest. But I did it because I can, because this game allowed me to do that. And you can see that the row coming in split into two, all right? So the two of them actually loop up and down, and then it actually went down as well. And it's beautiful to see all this thing coming along. You can actually click onto this guy and just zoom in here. And you look at all these things here, right? Look at all the roller coaster just running around. It's beautiful. Look at all these things. and the how it's going to like move around here and there, and it's a joy. You can just sit back looking at what you've built and not really pressurized to keep clicking everywhere, keep fighting fire. I mean, if your city is built with a reasonable sustainability, it can just run on its own for quite some time. All right, so I'm not going to look at this guy anymore. So I just say okay, so let it go. And then after that, I can also so this is the roller coaster kind of thing. Like I said, I don't need to do that. And then after that, I also have one that tunnel down as well. You can build a tunnel down. It's very easy as well. And like this one here, maybe let me see if I could. Let me just pause this guy, and then I want to keep look at this guy, or I pick up whatever it is. And go. So this guy actually going to go down the tunnel there. See, look at that. It going down the tunnel and reach the other side of the thing, because I need to kind of divert my traffic somewhere else. And it's going. Of course, you can't really see the tunnel itself. I wish I could, but yeah, it's like going up the hill like that. But I'm not going to the highway, but actually going through. And then coming up soon. There's a swimming pool here, by the way. And I'm coming up here, right here. Yes, I'm coming up here. So it's wonderful. Right, so yeah, I mean, you can really enjoy like looking at the city and say, wow, like, oh, this is what I've built, right? All this like solar panel, all this like satellite dish and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, it's great. Year is 2026, and the future is great. And I have a playground here as well. You can actually see a large playground, people there. And yeah, so that is okay. So I was talking about how I solved the problem, the traffic, because traffic is actually quite severe. Hang on, I've got some electricity problem. So some part of it is not having enough electricity. So I need to take a look. Is it because of my budget and so on, or do I have to turn on some of this existing power supply? So anyway, just talk about the traffic issue here. So initially here was like a junction connecting these two, and after that going out the city and become a huge jam here because it's traffic jam here. So I started to build one roundabout, and then I built two highways. So one of the highway here, maybe I just I don't know why I keep clicking the garbage truck. So this is the highway, and it's a very nice highway going down to the other side of the town. And then on the other side, I also have the highway as well. Oops, sorry. On the other side, I have the highway coming back out from here. So I have highway going down, highway coming back out from here. But still, I had a lot of issue dealing with the traffic on here, become a bottleneck. And you can actually take a look at the traffic issue here, right? So after that, I purchased the other side of the map over here, and then I built another roundabout here to solve some of these problems. So now, from where I live, Singapore, there's no roundabout. I mean, there's very little roundabout. So how do I get this sort of like idea? I did study in UK before, and I did see like roundabout having side by side each other. I always wonder why they do that. Now I understand it can help the traffic to keep flowing through a different roundabout, right? So that is it. And there's a prison here. And wow, it looks beautiful, right? I mean, look at the city here. And there's still a lot of room for growth. And the demand for residential is not high, but there's a little bit higher on the industry area. This part of the forestry area, but this part is more for the livestock side. You can see a lot of stuff like the animals here, right? The animal farm is here. But the one I really like is the one here. Look at this guy, man. I mean, look at the solar panel on top. In year 2026, this is what you have. Great, right? So yeah, I mean, so that is one. And what is this? The police headquarters is here, by the way. So that is a police headquarters, right? And also, you can't really maintain this like a system, like a road system, efficient road system without public transport, right? So I do have buses running around. So we have all these bus route that going around, and I do have things like the like an underground, the so-called the subway as well, because all these green things here are the subway. So hang on. So it's not this one, but the one that I have here are the subway station. So the subway station are the one that connected with the green line there. It's actually quite easy to make, and it's not too expensive. And I like it because it's become something that you could realistically achieve. And by the way, I mean, to see what the subway look like is something like this one here. It has a little hole, all right, on here. All right, so this is where the citizen will then go in there to sort of like get the various part of it. What on earth is this one? Wow, they have advertisement here as well in year 2026. Beautiful. So yeah, so I hope give you kind of some idea of it. So what is the gameplay like, right? So you kind of plan your city, you build a road and landscaping, because I think a lot of time I want to play a game like City Builder because I'm into art, I'm into landscaping. So I like to sort of like get some landscaping around the city, and I like to plan. So things like, you know, you need to solve the traffic issue so that, you know, because traffic is actually something that would sort of like make your city a very a lot of challenge will come into a city if your traffic is not being resolved nicely, because the garbage truck cannot get to the places, the police car cannot get to places, and so on and so forth. So it is important to keep the you know, traffic smooth in the city itself, and you have to keep monitoring what happened, like, you know, all these, like, you know, things here. So you can see some of this turning. This is not bright red. It's still quite okay, and you can actually upgrade the road as well. Upgrading road is quite easy. You just need to click onto this kind of thing, and you can sort of like, you know, go to the road itself and keep upgrading it, right? So you can click this button called upgrade and can upgrade the road, and you can upgrade, say, this road into like you know, in a bigger road. But of course, once you upgrade, and you actually, you know, destroy some of the building around it, but that's fine because you can rezone it and building come up quite fast as well. So, you know, something that you could keep working on the city, keep improving your city, and so on. So you have to solve the traffic issue. You have to solve the garbage issue as well, because that is where, you know, or when the garbage car build up, people do not want to stay in the house. They abandon the area. You need to keep track of the residential, commercial, and also the industry kind of demand as well, because you kind of need to manage demand, making sure that if you have enough worker, you have enough educated worker as well, and to help with all these things, making sure that you also deal with the budget. But I don't think this game has a lot of budget issue. At least I don't run into any budget issue at all. But there are a lot of things like policy as well, because you can actually do some kind of like a city planning policy, and you know, kind of things that you can play around with. Like, you know, the one that I like is the one, the smoke detector, distribution, recycling, park and recreation kind of thing. But you can click a lot of other things as well if you feel that, you know, want to build a city the way that you want to be. So that is fun, and there's a lot of other things like the statistics as well to show you, and like city statistic, like, you know, population changes, like people coming up, like, you know, I'm hitting a certain population growth, and I can look at also the number of tourists that's been visiting my city as well and see what happened to it. I can look at to things like maybe the city you know, budget and treasury sort of thing. So I mean, that's kind of like, you know, very much a sim city kind of thing, and is what a sim city is supposed to be. And I mean, yeah. So I hope they give you an idea of what this game is about, and it's a lot of milestone unlock as well. So for example, right now I'm almost unlocking everything, as you can see, and but I haven't really got the you know, the like some of this that you have to have certain like requirement to it in order to do certain things. Like I have to reach a population of 500,000 before I can even have a like an airport kind of thing. But I mean, that is the beauty of this game, right? I mean, it doesn't give you everything at one go. I think there's a mode whereby I can do it, but you know, you could sort of like progressively like unlock all these things, and this is a unique building I'll talk about. So some of this you can progressively unlock, and to sort of like you know, like some of this I haven't unlocked yet, and so on and so forth. But I mean, you know, this is the beauty of this game, whereby you can just keep playing, keep unlocking things, and like this is, I haven't got it unlocked as well. Almost there. Just you know, 200 more citizens, I'll be able to build the crematorium, right? So yeah, it's a lot of things to play for, and it depends on the goal as well, right? Because if I'm not into like a big population, because I'm more into like you know, making sure that a very beautiful city I build, and you know, model after my favorite sport at Formula One, and I'm happy having what we have here, and I will keep working on this guy to just find tweaking to it, and to manage all these things that I have, and keep building a unique building. I'm happy. This is what my end game. But I mean, you know, for those who like to sort of like build more stuff, and you can too. And building different roles is as simple as like maybe I just since I have money and I have time, I can probably show you how all these roads are built. And it's like you can build a road in free form. I really enjoy this part of the game. Like let's give you an idea, not necessarily have to keep all these things. You can start building things like let me just do a free format here. So you can do like a curve, like all this nice curve here, and then you can start to raise it up the ground. All right, so you can do a raise up the ground. Don't know whether you can sort of like see in action or not. Sometimes it's a bit too steep and so on, but you can actually do it like hang on, let me just it's actually a bit harder than it is. Okay, so I can actually raise it up like this and then cross over to this side, right? I can do that, and then after that I can say, wow, you know, maybe I should just start to deep down, all right? So I can start to like go underground, right? So you know, this is going underground. I can emerge out to somewhere like here, right? And connect to here, right? So I can see that the row actually come up into here, right? So just the illustration of how easy it is in this game to have all this like row being built in free format. So that's why you see all this curve here, landscaping. So anyway, I hope you enjoy my very short kind of like introduction to this game. I mean, like the developer said, they're probably very good at making a game, but not very good at selling the game. So just tell your friends that if they are really happy about, you know, really like city builder kind of game, I think this is the one to go for, City Skyline. All right, see you next time. Bye.